You can contribute a lot to the world, and I really mean that sincerely, by first understanding what diversity really is supposed to be and what it actually isn't, and how it's sort of been either misunderstood or manipulated, quite honestly. Issues that I've been thinking about for years is the concept of diversity. And I don't like to make videos that are theoretical. I like to make videos that are going to help you in some way, are going to be practical in some way. I mean, obviously, the videos that I make, I'm trying to make you think about things maybe in a different way, or maybe give you some insights. If you were to walk down the street and ask people what they thought of as the definition of diversity, I think it's pretty safe to say that approximately 8 out of 10 people would give you an answer that went something like this. So diversity is the acknowledgement and recognition of all of our differences and all of the different countries and backgrounds that, we're from. So, and if you asked a politician, by the way, both Republicans and Democrats, they would more or less say the same thing, but, they start off with using the word celebration. It's always apparently a celebration when politicians say it, but more or less they're saying the same thing. And I want to say this respectfully, and I really do, because obviously I'm not here to piss people off. I'm really not. So I think that when you look at diversity this way, I really think that that is a warped viewpoint. It's actually, to me, the complete opposite. It really is. So if you really want to think about diversity, to me, and I kind of wanted to avoid saying this, but yes, the people that know me already have heard this a million times, I know. But, I'm half marketing guy and half sociologist. So the sociologist in me has always had issue with this. When you look at the whole concept of diversity, it actually is the opposite. Diversity may start with our differences, yes, but that's not what the purpose of understanding diversity is. While we may start with our differences, the whole point is to bubble up and see where our commonalities are. So you want to sort of look at everybody's background, everybody's diversity, everyone's, differing maybe cultural traits, etc. Sometimes there are, different ideologies on certain things, but when we're all sort of, cohabitating in a society, you want to look at diversity from the perspective of commonalities. So you want to see how many commonalities can sort of coagulate and bubble up. And then once you get that, now all of a sudden you've got something that's meaningful, and you've got something that is hopefully kind of rich, and something that you can actually, work with and do something with. I think that when you look at it from that standpoint, you can really begin to finally have a real starting point where you can increase the value of a society, you can increase the strength of a society, you can increase the strength of a company, etc. Companies do this all the time, and I'm not here to bash companies, but companies will basically say, our strength is in our diversity. Well, what the hell does that mean? So diversity for the sake of diversity means nothing. What are you going to do with that diversity? And again, that would be, applied to every situation. But the mindset should be diversity is all about starting fine with those differences, okay, but you're looking for commonalities. So one quick example, and I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not sorry to say this because it's true. And you know what? Any college and university presidents who, in the event that you see this, or I should say most, not all, but this is your problem, not mine, okay? You guys did this to yourselves. So university and college presidents, not all, but most, at least in this country, tout diversity all the time, and I have a lot of experience with colleges and universities, with the exception of maybe one, which I'm not going to name. There's one university that really kind of doesn't tout all that much diversity for a reason. Most, not all, but most colleges, most universities tout the concept of diversity as one of their strengths, and it's the exact same thing everywhere. The white students stick with the white students, the black students stick with the black students, the Hispanics with the Hispanics, the Asians with the Asians, and then there is other. Sorry, other, but there's always going to be an other, which accounts for maybe somewhere around like 3-5%, maybe 3 to 7%, something like that. And my point is, and when you look at all of the different clubs where you see, whether it's promoted on social media, or whether it's good old-fashioned flyers and bulletins and signs posted on the walls inside universities. So join the Asian business club, join the Hispanic business club, join the African American music club, etc., etc. So where's the diversity in that? Because I don't see it. Universities these days don't, print catalogs anymore. That's gone away a long time ago at this point. But whether it used to be in catalog printed form, or nowadays, of course, it always seems to be on the landing page of a university website. There always seems to be this whole thing about touting how the university's greatest strength is its diversity and all that politically correct stuff, which is nice and vague on purpose. So you get this beautiful photo, right? You've got 4 students. It always seems to be like the exact same photo. It seems as though, somebody came up with the template and they just changed the people. But you get like about 4 students, and they're all sitting on, this beautiful, big, white painted rock. And there's this, beautiful oak tree. Every college in the suburbs anywhere in the U.S. seems to have, their pictures against this beautiful 200-year-old oak tree. And what are you going to see? You're going to see 4 students. I could tell you right now how it's going to play out. I can tell you right now. So the white student is going to be female. And it's interesting because up until a couple of years ago, the Hispanic student could have been either male or female, but now the Hispanic student is definitely going to be female. The male Hispanic student got bumped off. Hispanics have increased their position in their socioeconomic status, which I'm happy about. I'm not Hispanic, by the way, but I'm happy about that. So, of course, once that happens, you can't have a male. And by the way, I'm being very sincere about this and also trying to be lighthearted. Slightly better chance that the Asian's going to be most likely female. And then there's going to be the black student, and the black student can still be a male or a female. There's probably a better chance that the black student's going to be a male. And you know what? This is how it's going to play out. I'm serious. This is just now. By the way, I hope I don't get a thumbs down just because of this last part. I'm not being racist or anything like that. I hope you get the whole idea here. But that's really how it's going to play out. Whether you're a student or whether you are in the corporate world, and hopefully if you just simply care, you can contribute a lot to the world, and I really mean that sincerely, by first understanding what diversity really is supposed to be and what it actually isn't, and how it's sort of been either misunderstood or manipulated, quite honestly, by a number of different constituencies. And once you better understand that diversity is not about our differences, but really what you're trying to achieve is, through our differences, what are our commonalities, you can really create a situation where you're contributing a lot to the world, and you're contributing a lot to hopefully having us all live in a better world. So send me your comments and questions, and each week you'll get a chance to win a copy of one of my books, your choice, either my book on presentation skills or business writing skills.